All right, you guys, welcome. Thank you to all of you for writing to us yesterday. Thank you to Horatio Bay. Horatio, I'm going to try to read the stuff that you sent to us. Send it to us again in Word so I can share it on the group. Welcome to Anthony Tonis for joining our email group. Those of you who wish to join our online email group, you can do so. We're asking for 250. It's 250 per week, $2.50 USD per week, or $10 per month, or you can do the entire year for 110 per year, 110 USD per year. Now we send you a whole bunch of really amazing news, information, remedies, and things that we receive that you can use, and we get those on the regular daily. So we'll send out information as we receive it. Sometimes you get one, two, three, four, it's endless. As the information pours in, we share it immediately. So if you want to join our online email group, you can do that. If you also want to join our online tutor school, you can do that. Again, some amazing remedies there. We share some of our templates there. You get the books included with it, and you work at your own pace and rhythm. It's law and history, as you guys know, goes hand in hand, right? Now, for those of you in need of set off I heard a case recently, and I was just floored. I couldn't believe it. International authorities go and round up that agent doing business as police who went after that man who was basically trying to provide for himself and his family. I just couldn't believe it. Those of you out here who want to spend 5 or 6 thousand or more for a lawyer or an attorney, we can't stop you from doing that. All I can share with you is my experience. When I was going through my challenges of learning about, I didn't even know anything about status correction at that time or claiming one's birthright. All I knew is I was charged, I think it was 2,000 up front by this lawyer, and then she wanted, I think, another 3,000, right? And I paid the 2,000 if memory serves me, right? Went to court thinking that now she had remedied the situation. I think it was regarding getting our baby back, right? So I got my baby home. However, when I went into court, the judge looked at us. I was with my dad at the time and my caregivers and stuff, and just came out of hospital, from the organ harvesting stuff, where they already killed my husband, whatever, for his organs, right? We're in all the newspapers, you name it, it's there, right? And the judge looks at me and says, "Oh, she says the name, right? We don't know you. We have nothing on the record for you, nothing on file stating who you are." I was so pissed out. I was like, "What do you mean? I just paid all these funds to this lawyer thinking that she was going to put in the information about who, even just a newspaper article would have explained it, right?" Anyways, long story short, I ended up going to God and I said to God, what am I supposed to do? And God just guided me to represent myself. And I wrote from my heart, man. I wrote from my heart what we were subjected to, who we are as a people, and just, my character and whatnot. Not even about indigenous status. And lo and behold, when I went back into the court, I never forget, I think her name was Judge Scott. And she said to me, "Are you a lawyer? Did you study law? Did you go to law school?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "Did you write this stuff by yourself?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "You should really study law." She said, "This is really good." Long story short, I won the case that day. And I went to sue all those wretches, but didn't know about status at the time because I didn't understand you had to be in your proper person to sue them for defamation of character. So international authorities go now and find that troll who's been writing on this channel. And I'll engage in exchanges with entities if I see it has any validity, or I can just share with them what we do or whatever, that we have nothing to do with their experiences, right? When I see you going off and trying to categorize us or put us in a, no, that's when I get mad. So go and find them and charge them for the 9 billion, right? All right. Anyways, those of you who need to set off, you can write to us for the GSA bonds to set off matters, and it has nothing to do with your indigenous status. Those of you who are indigenous Moors, Go to rvbaypublications.com. I always tell you that on this channel. Correct your status on the record, right? But even if you don't know anything about that and you're still listed as blacks, Negro, colors, African Americans, these are bonds. These are bonds that were created on all of us, that are being traded on us, that we don't know nothing about. And all we're doing, all the powers that be was sent to us, tit for tat, the bonds that we used to remedy. In addition to the fact we were listening, and somebody had reported that Donald Trump had said that he's going back. And he said all those profits generated from all of that, we're supposed to get that back, people. Hence reparations and compensation, right? That's what we're waiting for. So when you're doing your work, I always share with you guys, it's not the paperwork. It's you. At the end of the day, if you go into something and you think you're going to lose, hello. But at the same token, if you're being subjected to lawyers, auctioneers too, and you don't know that they're going to sell you while you're in the court. I remember after that, there was another situation that I ended up getting, I think it was legal aid, or is that what they're called? The free agents doing business as attorneys for the courts. Either I had gotten one or they appointed one. I don't remember how it worked out. Long story short, I remember her coming into the court with the law book, and she had to turn the pages to find the law that went with whatever it is. It was unlawful search and seizure. Now, when I look back, I know it like the back of my hand. I was so mad I fired her on the spot. I was like, how are you going into court to represent someone and you don't even know law? Right? I got so pissed out. Anywho, all I'm saying to you guys is when you're doing your stuff, put you in it. Because I'm going to tell you guys some stories. If you want to, let me just tell you this real quick. If you want to get back the finances they claimed you owed, it's a 1099 OID. They tell us it's $2 million. We didn't get back that much. We did get back something significant, though, that we could use, and we really needed the finances at that time from the Treasury. I tell you guys that all the time. Anyways, it's the GSA bonds to set off. Child, if you need the GSA bond templates to set off matters like child support cases, mortgages, foreclosures, ticket citations, utilities, auto loans, student loans. And for those of you having warrants, and for those of you having to see an agent doing business as parole officer, as well as those. And if you have warrants, don't be waiting till the day before you have to go to court, or you have a parole officer, or you have a court case coming up. Get the stuff in order because it takes time to read the instructions and put everything together, right? Parole officers, as well as those of you in for nonviolent offenses, you can email us for the templates at themullings@gmail.com. We also do email consultations. I was doing one with someone recently, and when I realized it was like 3 or 4 hours in, I was like, okay, that's enough. Anyways, so you can email us for that at themullings@gmail.com. But you guys have to put yourself in it, and you have to focus on whatever desire you wish to see on the outcome on the other side, right? Now, yesterday I reported a couple of things. I want to say 10 different things at once here. On the homeless in, I think it was California, and these agents who are getting funding that were supposed to be helping the homeless, that were in essence taking the funds for consultations and all this crap, that wasn't doing anything for the homeless people then. In essence, they were just taking, I think she said 40 to 60%. International authorities going around those agents up. Because all they have to do is give the people housing, right? God, it was so pissed out when I was thinking about that yesterday. In addition to that, a couple things happened in the past couple of days I'm going to share with you guys in a minute. I just want to pray. Heavenly Father God, we pray, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me the strength yesterday by the grace of God to not faint and be where I was wary though. To not faint, but to actually remedy the situation yesterday that came upon us. I'm going to share that with these guys in a second. I want to put a hedge of protection around all that is good globally. We're being told that the National Guards have been called in. They said it's by Muriel Browser in Washington, D.C. But you guys remember the story with her? Number one, she's already been arrested and probably executed for treason and genocide. And number two, when Donald Trump was trying to get her to call in the National Guard, she wouldn't. And it was like the last minute she finally said, okay, go ahead. So when they reported yesterday that she called him, I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think Donald Trump might have called them in for protection, right? Anyways, so January 6th, you guys just be conscious, ask for hedge of protection around each of you guys going there. I ask that the angels now surround that whole Tolo kororo tikranai koi kaine kororo tikranai tikrono that do koi na kakai no kororo tikri e kai no e kakai no koi na nena na katukrono tikranai tikranai ka to kaine tikrana. I pray protection over everyone, right? Around Donald Trump, the Army, the Navy, the military, the Marines, and all that is good globally trying to help us to get free. Now, yesterday, something had happened here, you guys. You guys know the past couple of days I've been guided, well, for the, uh, I'd say probably, it's been a while now. I've been kind of getting nudges that I have to do something, right? So, long story short, I wrote to the entities here in this territory. Some of them have already been arrested and executed. I know that, right? But I was trying to remedy something online to see if I can get this thing straightened out. So we sent off all of our stuff, our indigenous status and our writs and affidavits and whatnot to all the media here and all the heads involved. We gave them a certain time frame, as you guys know, to remedy and write back to us. To date, we're still waiting, so all stands as law, truth, fact, unrebutted. Anyways, as I was praying just now, something came up in my spirit, and yeah, I just pray protection around that whole situation. Long story short, yesterday, right, I was guided to go and serve the actual hard copies because I already sent everything online to these agents. I get to this police station, and there's an agent standing outside doing business as police. And I said to him, "Who's the chief or is there a superintendent? Can you go get him and bring him outside?" And he said, "No, they're inside. You got to go inside, but you got to wear a mask." I said, "We're indigenous. We don't wear a mask or we die." So he said, "All right, go ahead." So I go up to the thing and I hear this woman's voice yelling out, "You can come in, but you got to wear a mask." I said, "We're indigenous. We don't wear a mask." Anyways, I went inside, handed them the stuff. And I think it was Miss Ellis. And I just said to her, "Send it over to Gordon in Kingston," right? I said, "We already served him." So, anyways, after that, now I get to this other commerce building, and I went in to do some stuff, and the guy was saying, "You got to put on a mask." I said, "We're indigenous. We can't wear masks. We'll die." You guys remember the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy? I wanted to show you that clip. There's a scene in it where they'd captured the indigenous guy and put him in the jail cell. And one of the guys that was protecting him or supporting him was saying to somebody else, "You can't leave an indigenous person in lockdown because they'll die." Anyways, so I get to this other establishment. First, I'm talking to this, I'm sitting somewhere waiting for something, and end up talking to the security guard. Well, he's just in la la land, right? With the media and all the corruption and all the crap. And I heard my spirit get cross in that and ended up just yelling at him and saying, "Listen, either wake the hell up or die." I said, "We're in a covert war and y'all want to take the vaccines, go ahead." They've already put the poisons and everything, killed us off, tried to kill us off before with Hudson Bay Company and these blankets that they poisoned from 1930s with syphilis and the crap that they gave us through CDC, claiming they're giving us free health care. 1900s, they killed all the police with the vaccines. Go back in history. History and law goes hand in hand. They're not playing with you. You decide what you want to do. I'll watch. So, anyways, told him my piece, walked on. Next, I had to go to this institution, right? All right, so I get there and we just filled out everything online, got through, no problem. Put in our indigenous status, no problem, got through. Get to this institution, go pick up the card or whatever it is we're supposed to get. There's this huge, massive lineup, and I said, "Listen," I said to the security guard, "Go inside, get someone to come out. Let me sign what I have to sign and get what I need to get and move on." So he's saying, "Oh, he doesn't know if anyone's going to come out, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Go and talk to someone now. We're indigenous. We can't wear a mask or I'll die, whatever." So he goes inside. He comes back out. He said he doesn't know if someone's coming out. Then he comes back 5 minutes later with a phone number. Immediately on the spot, we called the phone number to find it's somebody's voicemail. And you know, you have to have a code to get into somebody's voicemail. It wasn't one of those numbers. I said, "This number doesn't even work. Go get somebody now." All of a sudden, you guys, you know what happened? My blood sugar dropped. And I knew I was about to faint, right? Well, I ended up getting really mad, right? And I ended up yelling loud. I mean, loud, loud, loud. You can probably hear me from here to wherever. And I said to him, "You get somebody out here, God damn it! You get somebody out here now. I don't give a shit. Get somebody out here now. They took an oath to the goddamn Constitution. It's genocide and treason. If you don't get somebody out here now, I'm going to sue. If something happens to me, I'm going to sue everybody, including you." Let me just tell you, the Spirit of God had us walk around to the front of the building. This other wretched security guard was in there, and I said to him, "We can't come in. Can't wear a mask because we'll die. We're indigenous, right?" So, oh, he beckons us to go around the side. There's another young security guard there, and I said to him, "Get someone to come outside, blah, 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 whatever." Told him the situation. The other idiot security guard standing behind him saying, "No, she can't come in because blah, 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 whatever." 5 minutes later, this really nice worker comes out, and she starts explaining to us about this thing that we'd signed up for, that you have to be a so-called Jamaican citizen, you have to have, or be a Jamaican national. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "First of all, we went online, put in our national identification card, the computer accepted it. So then we started explaining to her that we're Indigenous, Native Americans, or Aboriginals, Moorish American nationals, what have you." She said, "Oh, she never heard about that." And I said, "Yeah, but it's internationally, politically protected." Really nice lady. And she explained to us what the thing was, which wasn't really what we wanted, anyways, right? But I was surprised that she didn't know anything about Indigenous people at all. Long story short, when we told her, I said to her, "I can't wear a mask. We're Indigenous, we die." She didn't really have much to say after that. So, bottom line, I had to get mad, you guys. I had to get loud and, yeah, just blaze it up. I don't like to get mad though, because especially if I'm not feeling well. And, yeah, it took a lot out of me to do that, but I didn't care. I just didn't, it just got to that place where I no longer cared anymore. And I was so pissed off at seeing everyone walk around with these goddamn masks like idiots. And this one idiot walked by with the formaldehyde mask that probably has asbestos in it. And I just looked at him. I was talking to the security guard. I said, "Yeah, this idiot right here with the mask walking in front of us, who's probably breathing in formaldehyde." Like, you just get to the point where you get so pissed out. You know what I mean? Anywho, long story short, I was able to go into what, two or three or more places yesterday. I didn't give a shit. I didn't wear no goddamn mask because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of this lie that's being perpetuated on the people. And then yesterday, I was going, I think it was in the post office, right? Or standing at the doorway or something. And I saw these three Muslims, Muslim, walk in with their whole garb, whatever. And the strangest thing came over me. Normally you see people and you're like, yeah, whatever. And I know a lot of Muslims that are really nice people. Here, however, in this territory, sadly, a lot of the agents they have in these businesses, you guys know most of them are run by the Chinese, and it's probably the CCP party, right? And then you have the East Indians who run a lot of the businesses here too, right? When I saw these three, I don't know what came over me, but I just got so scared. It was not even funny because the way they were moving, and what was strange about it was the first time, probably ever in this lifetime, I've ever seen a so-called black Muslim, Muslim, with some other Caucasian European Muslims. But almost looked like they were on a mission. And maybe that's just paranoia because now I know about the underground military dumbs and know about all the corruption. So it's hard to, I saw them and categorize them. God forgive me if they're good people, but it was just the way they were moving around that scared the shit off of me. International authorities, you saw them on camera yesterday. Go and investigate them. Make sure they're not up to no. Make sure they're up to good and not up to no good. Because I was wondering, boy, my spirit just got really, yeah. It was weird when I saw them. This energy came over me. And now I got some stuff to share with you guys that they shared with us yesterday. You guys can go to the Nobel website. We're just on it now, looking at quite a few guys have signed up. You guys can sign up and join it. I thought that was really cool. We're on this little website here. It looks so simple. And apparently we can advertise it on Google. I don't really know how to do that part yet, so we're working on it, right? But yeah, so um, yesterday I got Surfshark, and Surfshark gave this huge discount and said that I sent it to all of our online people if you guys want to get it. But we were using it for something, or thought we were using it for something that didn't work, but it's all right.
uh, island of Oahu. And so that is also headed westbound. Now, I am going to show you guys something, and I don't know how, God's honest truth, I ever missed it. And so when I show you, we've been eyeballing prisons, okay? And I will tell you, I've got some intel going right now. Somebody's doing some research and have fed me some research on the Iceland locations. And so I'm still digging in on that because one of them is a very low, I guess a low security women's prison, and the other is just a long term men's prison. But it's not necessarily, although it's listed as high security, it's not what we would consider high security. And my understanding is there's an alternate location. I've heard this twice now. One from a guy that was Special Forces operations that was up in that area and said that there is a prison that makes Guantanamo Bay look like a playground. And so there's got to be something to it. There is no reason for somebody to just make that up. And so, based on the boots on the ground that I've got talking to me that live in Iceland, they're feeding me some information that kind of is compelling to what that guy's account was. So I'm going to keep digging. I don't want to throw it out there.
So that's monkey works, right? But here is the thing that I thought was really interesting. I hope it comes up right away. I probably talked too long. I probably have to start it again. I don't know.
The population by 2 billion. And this is still what they're pushing for with the vaccine. It's for anybody just with an ounce of common sense. If you're going to get a vaccine, you'd want to know what was in it.
Agree.
This so-say vaccine states very clearly on the packet it's made in China, and it's got potassium chloride in it, which is what they put in lethal injections if you commit a crime and want to kill you. So if you take it, then good luck. Because what it will do is it will rid the world of all the stupid people. And sadly, there are a lot of very, very stupid people who've been so badly programmed out there, who just watch the television and don't do any research. And if you don't do research because you're too busy, fair dues. But at least have the common sense to listen to different people's views and see for yourself what makes sense.
So I thought that was interesting. So I looked up this potassium chloride. Is that what he said it was called? Potassium chloride, right? And I came across this. Let me see if I have it up on the screen. Oh boy. Can you guys see this? I'm gonna let you guys read this. I'll put this in the description below. So they're talking about Trump's, yeah. Then this, hang on. So Horatio, thank you for sharing this stuff with us. I thought it was really cool. Can you guys see this? Indian Civil Rights Act. What is the Indian Civil Rights Act? The Indian Civil Rights Act of 1968, ICRA, is a federal law. It says Indian tribal governments cannot enact or enforce laws that violate certain individual rights. It is like the Bill of Rights in the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees personal freedoms against actions of the federal governments, and the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, which extends those protections to actions of state governments. Those constitutional limitations do not apply to tribal. Did you hear what that said? These constitutional limitations do not apply to tribal governments. Hello, we don't wear a mask, right? Oh Lord, so I wanted Horatio send this to me again in Word so I can share it with the group, right? Because I can't share it when I download it. It doesn't come up. I can't open it, but I can open it on the email, right? Freedom from excessive bail, excessive fines, cruel, unusual punishment, and for conviction of any offense, of any one offense, freedom from punishment greater than imprisonment for 1 year and a fine of 5,000 or both, equal protections of the laws, and freedom from deprivation of liberty, of property without due process of law. So the starvation that we're being subjected to is called what? Deprivation of liberty, right? Or property, right? We have a right to food, people, without due process or of law, right? So I wanted to read that one, and then he sent us the Civil Rights Act of 1968, Public Law 90-284, 82 Stat 73. And it's funny because it starts out and says currency. This publication is a compilation of the text of Public Law 90-284. It was last amended by the Public Law listed um, in the as amended through note above and below at the bottom of each page of the PDF version, and reflects current law through the date of the enactment of the public law listed at, and then it gives the website. Note, this publication does not represent an official version of any federal statute. Substantial efforts have been made to ensure, this document is 36 pages, to ensure the accuracy of its contents. The official version of federal law is found in the United States statutes at large and in the United States Code. Legal effect to be given to the statutes at large. It's 3:05. It's 3:08 a.m. I got up at 1 o'clock this morning. Statutes at large and in the United States Code. The legal effect to be given to the statutes at large and the United States Code is established by Statute 1 USC 112-204. And then it goes on to read, right? Interference with the federal protected activities. So send this to me again, Horatio, so I can share it. Goes on to read, the provisions of this section shall not apply to acts or omissions on the part of law enforcement officers, members of the National Guard, as defined in Section 1019 of Title 10 United States Code, members of the organized militia of any state or the District of Columbia not covered by such Section 1019 in brackets, or members of the armed forces of the United States who are engaged in suppressing a riot or civil disturbance or restoring law and order during a riot or civil disturbance. Amends the analysis of Chapter 13 of Title 18 of the United States Code by adding at the end thereof an item for the catch line of the Section 245 added by subsection A1. A. Amends Section 241 of Title 18 United States Code. Amend Section 242 of Title 18 United States Code. Amend Section 12 of the Voting Rights of 1965. Section 104 amends Title 18 of the United States Code. Anyways, it just goes on and reads that. For the purpose of this title, the term Indian tribe means any tribe, band, or other group of Indian subjects to the jurisdiction of the United States. Remember, of means without, you guys. And recognized as possessing powers of self-government. So, I have to now possess the powers of self-government here in this instant. Powers of self-government means and includes all governmental powers possessed by an Indian tribe, executive, legislative, and judicial, and all offices, bodies, and tribunals by and through which they are executed, including courts of Indian offenses. And Indian court means any Indian court, any Indian tribal court, or court of Indian offense. In general, hang on, I've gone too far. In general, no Indian tribe in exercising powers of self-government shall make or enforce any law prohibiting the free exercise of religion or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, of the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition for redress of grievances, violate the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizure, nor issue warrants but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person to be, and the person or thing to be seized. This is the Article 4, Amendment 4 in the Constitution. Subject any person for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy. Compel any person in any criminal case to be a witness against himself. Take any private property for public use without just compensation. Deny to any person in any criminal proceedings. Yes, and international authorities go and round up those security guards, all of them, now in this territory. Have a little meeting with them and explain to them we're indigenous people here, we don't wear masks, or else we'll die, and we're going to charge them, charged up that one in that institution that was talking smack. Fire him this night. Deny to any person in a criminal proceedings the right. Yes, because he was in there talking crap about, oh, I can't come in, I can't do this, and I can't do that. Who the hell is he? Is he not a foreign colonist occupying our lands here, claiming to be a black person? Move. Deny to any person in a criminal proceedings the right. Yes, you guys, because what Dr. Charlie Ward is saying makes sense. They have stupid people out here trying to rule over the people that have sense. You see what I'm saying? These stupid people decided to wear masks and kill off themselves, and it's trying to rule over the people that know better. People know about pneumonia and the carbon dioxide poisoning and bacterial pneumonia with those masks and asbestos and formaldehyde. Move. Cho. To be denied to any person in a criminal proceeding the right to a speedy and public trial, to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor. And I don't think I should have to go and divulge my medical history about the accident organ harvesting to the world. No, sure. And at his own expense to have assistance of counsel for his defense, to agents pretending to be doctors at placed in front of these stores, move out of the way. For his defense, except as provided in subsection B, 7A, require excessive bail, impose excessive fines, or inflict cruel and unusual punishment, except as provided in subparagraph C, impose for conviction any one offense, any penalty or punishment greater than imprisonment. And you know what I heard yesterday? The company here doing business, electric company, Jamaica Public Service, wrote to us yesterday, but it's weird. It wasn't on letterhead or anything like that. It almost looked like they've been defunct, stating that they had shut down one of the locations in this territory, right? And I thought that was weird because I'd served the agent in charge over there with an affidavit asking them if they were involved in the genocide and treason. Anywho, of 1 year of a fine of 5,000 or more, or both. Anyway, thank you for sending this to me, Horatio. I'm not going to read all 39 pages, you guys. Well, if you guys didn't hear before, you're going to hear it now, boy. Linwood went off. You can read it here. See that? Thank you, Linwood, for finally saying something truthful about what's happened. Wow, they have Antifa and BLM financial records, finally. Let's see who's paying for what. And I have to be honest, when I first spoke to those agents doing business as police officer at the wee hours, I think it was like 5:30 in the morning, I went into the station and I was telling them, I said, listen, they've already killed you guys back in the 1900s with the same poison vaccines. They're trying to do it again. You guys decide. We have been writing here to protect everybody globally. I cannot protect you if you're not protecting me. You see what I'm saying? Say something, Cho. Wow, they're cutting funding to the CIA. See, because I was wondering this whole time, who's the agent running here? Because a lot of them's already been executed for treason and genocide. I just see pockets. Like I was wondering those three little Muslims I saw yesterday. I was wondering if are they CIA or they involved in something here? They just looked fishy to me. That's all I'm saying. And my spirit just rose up, and I don't know why. So you guys can go and read that, right? Those of you on the Nobel L channel can come over to Nobel L II for more stuff I post over there. Here's the Nobel L II channel. You guys remember to subscribe and share and support us here. We asked for $1 per video. If you guys want to send us more, we greatly appreciate it because it helps us out here do the research. Thank you to Lauren and a couple of you guys yesterday.
Menacing kidnapper flees down the street. In his arms, a toddler just snatched from a playground. But not so fast. It's big sister to the rescue. Look as the brave 8-year-old races after the kidnapper. She won't let him get away with her baby brother. And not far behind, her 10-year-old brother, also in hot pursuit. He's still got the baby stroller. Now the Wright kids, yep, their last name is actually Wright, are being credited with doing the right thing by thwarting the kidnapping of their little brother. It happened in the small town of Sprague, Washington, population just 500. 8-year-old Delisha and 10-year-old Brendan were playing in a park near their babysitter's house. With them, baby brother Owen, who was just 22 months old. The kidnapper grabbed little Owen and took off. A surveillance camera outside a grocery store captured the frightening figure running down the street. He almost looks like Frankenstein. Delisha screamed her head off as she followed the real-life monster, drawing the attention of these teens.
It really turned into blood-curdling screaming.
When you kind of pick up, there's a girl running behind him. He's running down an alleyway with a kid. Things don't look right.
A man grabbed a 2-year-old baby child and was running with it. The little kid started screaming.
Kathleen Beatty, the personal safety expert known as the safety chick, says making a racket is exactly the thing to do in such an emergency.
Using your voice, using your words, screaming, yelling, help, stranger danger, this is not my father, can be the difference between life and death.
The kidnapper was so worried he put Owen down in a vacant lot before escaping. A little boy who now has 2 new heroes in his life, Big Sis and Big Brother.
Instill in your kids that when they are out in the public, that if some adult comes up to them, they need to have that gut reaction and go the other way and yell and scream as loud as they can.
I'll never forget, you guys, I was watching this, I was thinking about the underground military bases and how they kidnap all those children, right? And I was reminded when my youngest, right, was just little. I was dropping off something for someone and him and his brother were in the automobile. Oh, Lord. And someone was eyeing the automobile, apparently. And the older one told me that the little one's really feisty, right? Told this person, I don't know who it was, this woman or whatever was eyeing them, told him to F off. I was like, really? Yeah, I gave him the finger. I was like, oh my gosh, good for him. So teach your children, yeah, how to protect themselves quick.
They pulled her out, put her here on the patio, and she wasn't breathing. But luckily, her 9-year-old brother knew CPR. How'd you know how to do it?
Television.
Television?
Yeah.
Specifically, the movie Black Hawk Down. So you learned this from the movie Black Hawk Down?
They were like pushing on their chest and like giving them rescue breaths.
He did save his sister's life. Of course, Black Hawk Down is pretty grown-up stuff for a third grader.
We've tried to turn this movie off 100 times, and he watches these scenes over and over. He dresses up like a medic, and he runs around doing these things, and we always thought it was so silly, but you know what? That silly movie that cost a few dollars saved our daughter's life.
You like your sister, huh?
Sometimes she gets on my nerves.
He's as modest as he is honest. How do you feel about all this attention?
Really good.
And the whole family is grateful.
Yes, you guys, movies. Teach your children well, because you never know. I remember I died like a few times, well, a couple times here, and it was my two little guys again, who they said they just prayed because they couldn't understand what was going on. I became unconscious a couple times, well, and yeah, they just sat there and prayed, and I came back to life twice. Anyways, you guys, like, share, subscribe. You guys have yourself a great day. Remember, international authorities, go and speak to these agents here because my spirit is alive and well, and it's not playing with them. I'm not playing with them. I'm watching too many people get sick here and hearing stories about people dying here now. And somebody has to stand up and say something because it's just ridiculous. I don't know. I'm unsure if the agents here doing this stuff are even from here. I don't even know if they're even real people. I can't figure it out. So, yeah, I'm just doing my part, but I need help. Like, there's only me, right? And my tribe here, it's not fair to us. So you need to send in some troops and stuff to get this thing remedied properly. Remove those agents. I can only get mad to a certain degree, and then all hell's about to break loose because the Spirit of God rises up after I leave, or while I'm there. It's a different story, right? So I'm asking you now to send in the proper troops to deal with it properly. Remove those agents in those buildings doing business as authorities, managers, supervisors, superintendents, commissioners, whatever. Remove them this night so the people can be free, right? Like, share, subscribe, you guys. Have yourself a great day. Remember to support us here so we can continue our research. And thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you who support us here on the daily. Those of you in the online email group, remember to send in your $250 USD per week, or you can join $10 per month, or 110 per year for us to continue. It takes a lot of time, you guys, for me to research all this stuff, put it together, and then and it's weird because I can put the videos together in like 5 or 10 minutes, but it takes a long time to actually gather the information prior, right? Like, share, subscribe, you guys. Have yourself a great day, and remember, faith without works is dead. Faith comes by hearing, and hear by the word of God, right? Put God first, and all good things will come after. And who's the God? You are. Hello. Psalms 82:6. Peace to the gods.